everyone. Today we are gonna go shopping. I just got off I just got off of school. Got out of school, and we are going to make some dinner because I actually don't have rehearsal today. It is 6:30 right now. It's definitely gonna be a jolly good old time because we're gonna be making dinner on a budget, which I'm pretty good at that, you know. Anyway, I'm gonna go shopping. I'm here at Trader Joe's, and I'm rarely here at Trader Joe's. I never shop here, but it's the closest thing to my house, so I decided to pick that one. What will we be getting, you ask? That's for me to know. That was better. Oh my god, I suck at this. I'm lactose intolerant, so whoop. I know everything else, but I don't know what protein I'm gonna get. Ooh, meatballs. So I've gotten most of my stuff. We're trying to think of more to get, but we're balling on a budget. Half of this stuff is for me, so we're just gonna take into account what we're gonna eat tonight, and then I'll let you know the total after I check out. So now that everything is here, we're gonna put it in the car and then we'll be back home. Hello everyone, we're on Audrey's cooking show today. We're balling on a budget, so we're eating dinner on a budget. This was a total of $8.50. $8.56. So, balling on a budget. Mushrooms for $2.19. We got the sauce for $1.29, the onion for 39 cents, the meatballs for $2.29, the pasta for 50 cents, and the potatoes for $1.90. I have a friend who grows a lemon tree, so these are free. The green beans as well. If you can, try to garden more. It will save you money, it will give you healthy options, and it also is just therapeutic in general. In order to prepare, we need to collect our equipment. To make the pasta, we need a pot. To saute the mushroom and onion, we need a pan. With that pan, we can also add the meatballs and sauce. And then at the end, obviously, add the pasta. And then the green beans, we just need another pot with a little crate. In terms of your vegetables and everything that you're gonna cook up, you wanna make sure, especially if you get it from a grocery store, so you know what kind of chemicals they have. You want to wash them and rinse them and make sure that everything is clean and ready to be cooked. But if you don't, I will know something bad. Just nothing bad's gonna happen. Now that you have everything washed and ready to go, we're gonna prep it. We need to chop the onions, chop the mushrooms, so we can saute them, season them a bit in the pan, as well as chop the potatoes to put them in the oven while we're making everything else. For the green beans, you wanna just pack them in. Obviously, this is kind of intense, so I'm gonna take out a few, but you wanna fill it a little to the brim right here and steaming, and then you'll put a cap on it and let them do its thing. Since this is a big onion and I am one person, we are not gonna chop the whole onion, but if you are having company over, you definitely cut the whole onion and saute it all together. And when I mean saute, all you do is put a little bit of oil in a pan and then season it, let it simmer, and mix it around with a wooden spoon. For these onions, do not mince them. They don't need to be extra small, they just need to be about this big. For the mushrooms, you only need about like 5. You just want to slice those into kind of like the size of the onion. Then we'll season them and put them on the stove. I don't know about you, but I am obsessed with mushroom. And what I've come to find is everyone cuts mushrooms differently each time. I know there is a proper way to cut them, but genuinely, I feel like I've met so many people who cut mushroom differently. My objective is just to make them into a bite-sized piece. There is no math to it. It will eventually be the size of when you eat it. And I don't really cook for myself that I do, it's genuinely therapeutic. And especially if we're balling on a budget and we're college students, you know, it be like that sometimes. You don't have time, you don't have the money, so this is just a simple meal. We're gonna make pasta with meatballs and some sauteed mushroom and onions with the side of veggie, aka green beans. And we're gonna put some lime in there and some pepper to make the green beans more spicy. Not spicy, but you know what I mean. So it's not as bland. Oh my God, wait. We're gonna just add a little moisture to it, just a little bit of oil, and then we're gonna add some chili powder. We're gonna add a lot of pepper, and then we're gonna add a tiny bit of salt. After it is all seasoned and ready, we'll start cooking, but for now we're just prepping, so we're just gonna leave it as is and be on our way. We have the beans prepared and we have the mushroom and onions. Next, we're gonna do the potatoes, which is my favorite part because I'm obsessed with potatoes, and we're gonna season the out of it. So now we have our little baby potatoes. We're gonna cut those up, put them on a pan, put oil on them, put salt, pepper, a little tiny bit of chili powder, and then we'll be on our way. We're gonna put these in for about 20 minutes or so while we're cooking everything else. Next, we're gonna do pasta, which is easy. You put the water more than halfway in the pot and boil it. First, we're gonna preheat the oven to 400 while we're cutting them up and seasoning them so we don't waste time. Because we don't have time when we're in college, do we now? After they're all rinsed and washed, we don't want them to be too small, but not too big at the same time. You cut them in fours, they make this little hill shape. How do people do it? Should be a hand model. So we want to make them into like a little hill shape, kind of like this. Why does this setup look like cooking, Mama? Better than Mama. Good. Before we even put it on the pan, we're gonna add the seasoning, mix it all up, make sure that it's all nice and mixed. We don't want too much salt. I'm adding a little onion powder. I'm gonna add a ton of pepper, a little bit of chili powder, mix it all up, and then eventually we'll be able to put it into the pan. Should start looking a little bit goosey, you know what I'm saying? Wow, I am messy. I clean everything up, don't worry about it. And voila. So once we cut up all the potatoes and spray down the pan and put them all in here, we'll eventually put that in the oven. For now, we're gonna boil water and make the pasta and start cooking up everything on the stove that we had prepared. We got the turkey meatballs, which are really good in my opinion, better than the beef. We'll add those to the pan first, cook them, and then add the sauce to make it bubbly and oily, and so that the inner part of the meatball will be soft and not raw or cold. So yeah, this will be the pan for the meatballs, but for now we're just gonna mix everything around, all the seasoning that we put on the mushrooms and onions, wait till the beans boil, wait till the alarm on the oven beeps so we can put the potatoes in, and eventually cook the pasta. You wanna cook the pasta reasonably like near the end of your cooking session, because you're gonna just have cold pasta. It cooks so quick that everything else should be cooked before then. Raw onion's hard sometimes if it's not in guac. So we're gonna add a little bit of oil, tiny bit, like that much, into the pan, and then we're gonna add our meatballs. I'm gonna put 4 in there. We're gonna mix that up. We have our little tongs, and then we'll eventually add the sauce. The onions and mushrooms will slowly sink and turn into like a crystallized way. You'll kind of see through the onions, and the mushrooms will shrink a bit, and that's how you know they're fully cooked. They're not super ready yet, but they'll eventually be in about 2 minutes. The water is also boiling, so we're gonna leave this open like this and let that soften up, and then slowly let everything soften up. Beautiful. Let's check on our green beans. Ooh, nice. We're gonna turn this off since it is now cooked, and then we're ready. After the sauce, after the pasta, we'll be ready for munching and crunching. And this is what we created today, folks. We got green beans, sauteed onion and mushroom, spaghetti and meatballs, and seasoned potatoes. All $8.56. Falling on a budget, definitely. Well, I hope you had a good time cooking it up with me, and I'll see you next time on, I don't even know what my show's called, guys. Anyway, toodles.